Alright, I'm back here doing another test. Yeah, I know it sounded awful before. I took off a desktop audio. Why am I echoing? Do you hear an echo at all, or is that just me hearing it? Okay, I guess I will just deal with that. Now everybody gets to hear my rocket typing. Just waiting on the comment. Yeah, I know you can. That's something I'm gonna have to work on. I'm testing out a new like a new format, so it's a work in progress. Alright guys, this is LucianDevine here for my second stream. It would have been my first, but that one actually got lost, so this is my second one. Puppy, shut up. Come here. Come here. Up here. This is Puppy. He's being a brat. Do you hear yourself barking? Come here. Oh, puppy. Alright, anyway, we got a question from Wanda. Could I please explain to Lobies where bounty troops come from and how to find them with the search bar? He's often asked these questions. Alright. So we go into bounty, it's in the game screen. We go into fight, and we click one of the fights, and then we click edit. Now, unlike most of the game formats, you actually have access to all of the troops. Now, the question was, how do you find the bounty troops? And that's actually fairly simple. You just click on the filter, type in bounty, apply filter, and it brings up all of the bounty hunter troops that you have. Now, for me, it doesn't really matter, but for most players or most lower level players, they might want to sort by rarity. And the reason for that is because when you look at the bounty hunter trait, it says it gains 2x to 6x to bounty score based on my ascension. So what that means is at rare, it'll be 2 times the points, at ultra rare 3 times, epic it's 4 times, etc. Now, note that that is for just the regular bounty troops, that it is different for the bounty captain. Now, you find the bounty captain of that particular bounty event in the shop. So we just go into the shop, and we'll just start by buying tier 1 and potion of enchantment. And we'll buy tier 2. Just go to upgrade real quick. We'll just upgrade this guy. Alright, so now if we go back into the bounty screen, we'll again sort by bounty, rarity. Now, people always think that the bounty captain itself is the end-all be-all, and that it has to be in the team or you're doing something wrong. but that is actually not the case depending on the amount of gems that you have to spend. For example, if we just throw 4 random bounty troops and then we back up, we'll see that we have a multiplier of times 24. And that's because 6, 6, 6, 6 equals 24. Simple enough. But then if we click the bounty captain, because he's just at rare right now, it's actually just 22. And the reason for that is where the normal bounty troops are 2 to 6, the bounty captain itself is technically 4 to 12, because it takes this multiplier bonus, and for this event only, it multiplies it by 2. So, if we go into the shop and somebody only had enough to do the 100 gems to buy the first 2 tiers, it's actually better for them to use 4 normal bounty troops instead of using the bounty captain. Now, since I have a few more gems, we're going to buy it again. So, if we click it again, now if we click him again, upgrade him again, now if we back out, we see that it is back to 24. Now what this means is that if your bounty captain is at ultra rare, it is exactly the same as a normal mythic bounty troop. So if you don't have any synergy with the bounty captain, Chatty McChatterson coming from Goblin, I'm just trying to explain things for the newer players who may have never done bounty, because Lord knows I wish I had somebody to explain this to me way back when. So, again, if he's at ultra rare or lower, you could use a normal mythic bounty troop, and it functions exactly the same. But if we buy another tier... Oh, you're chatting me. Okay, that makes sense now. Alright, so now we're going to upgrade him one more time. So now if we back up, we see that we're at 26. So again, once the bounty captain hits epic, it's better to use it than even a mythic bounty troop. So, that being said, I'm going to buy all the way up because I can, and we're going to cover which troops you, or not necessarily which troops you should use, but how far up you should take all bounty troops, and when you might want to switch to 3 bounty troops and 1 normal troop. So that's going to be legendary, and that's going to be mythic. I can hear myself hit the escape button with my own echo. You guys don't hear an echo, right? Like, I hear it and it worries me. Like, everything I say, I hear again. Alright, that's awesome. Alright. Now, for this particular, or for each bounty, they changed it so that the bounty captain has some sort of benefit against the troops that you're fighting against. Now, in this case, it's not exactly the same. He doesn't gain any particular bonus against all of these rogues. but we do have a troop that does. And that troop for this particular event, if I can not go past her, is Mermaid. Deal double skull damage versus rogues. And with that attack, that'll carry you pretty far. So we're clearly going to have Mermaid. We're clearly going to have Man-at-Arms. So then the question is, what do you want to put with it? Now, one of my personal favorite bounty troops is Tagraki Warrior. Because, one, it's true damage, and it's boosted by the enemy armor. So if that plus a third of their armor equals their total health, they just die. So it stacks up pretty nicely as the enemy levels scale up, and that's a boop-a-da-boop-doop. Alright, so what do we want to put as the last troop? Now, with my normal bounty team, I generally focus on true damage. So Tagraki Warrior, Soldier of Wrath, and sometimes Riftlinks. It's 3 red troops, and like as a quick example, I'll just show you. It gives a tiny boost to attack, which can make some of these things hit very hard, especially in the early levels. Alright, so now we'll go back to this. So, like, that's kind of what I normally do, is most of the red troops. Mermaid, Man-at-Arms, then we'll do Tagraki. Does it quite work? It's a little hard with the mana in this case because we've got blue-brown, red-brown, and then red-blue. So we'll actually go with Riftlinks to get some purple in there. And banner, banner, banner. Not really sure what to do. We'll go with Kraken, maybe? We'll go with Kraken. And actually, I can't whistle. It sucks and is very depressing. So, normally people think that times 24 is the highest that you can get, but as we talked about, with the bounty captain being double the normal bounty bonus, that gets you up to the fabled times 30. Where did I put my backup Coke? My partially filled Coke. So we'll just kill him. Now we're just going to kind of blow through these early fights because it's not super important. Now, one thing that I really, really like is 2 of the best potions. Well, it's actually cola. It's a much better price where we buy it, so I take the sacrifice and we get cola. Alright, more rogues. I actually have a backup 2-liter of cola. Fell Demon, it looks like you're on. Now, it could be an illusion. I could be a figment of your imagination. That is a possibility. No, Mermaid is ready. You guys have to bear with me. It's been I'm still not used to like playing and streaming, and I can understand Salty's struggle where you're trying to like read chat, respond to chat, and trying to actually play the game. It's harder than I initially gave it credit for. And I will have Wanda know that I ate dinner before I started streaming. So we don't have to all watch and hear Lucian eating this time. Fine, just kind of slowly blow everything up. The early levels are super easy, so we're not really going to cover too much. There is always a reason for coffee and caffeine. Always. You don't win class events without a healthy dose of caffeine. Getting in the zone. So while we're just blowing through the early levels, does anybody have any questions at all? Hello, Key. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Actually, one here. Oops. I'm sorry for like the loud thunder typing. That is something that I will try and correct before the next thing. Alright, Key has a really good question, and that question is, why do all of the suggested teams have 3 bounty troops and Yao Guai? Alright, so if we go into bounty, now for this particular one, we're going to again assume that it's mermaid for that double skull damage. The man-at-arms have to be there because it's the mythic bounty captain. And then I think one of the normal troops of choice in that particular team that Key is talking about is Pharaoh's Hound. Pharaoh Hound. Create 8 purple and 8 red gems and barrier a random ally. Alright, so the primary reason is, again, in this case, you've got mermaid, double skull damage versus rogues. In this particular one, man-at-arms, because it's the bounty captain, it gives you that double bonus. Pharaoh Hound, because it's that create 8 purple and 8 red gems. And the reason that is so big is because Yao Guai transforms all purple gems to red. So if you've got a bunch of purple, a bunch of red, and then he's likely to fill himself again, and it kind of is this Yao Guai versus the world type situation, where the whole fight could be going to hell, and Yao Guai could just win the fight on its own because of that. Have I ever considered running Zool in Bounty? This is a question from Goblin. For starters, this is the first bounty event where I've had Zool, and I haven't really considered it because he requires a lot of explosion support to work. Alright, so any other questions before I get back to these? What the heck? That's Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't mind that. That's fake. Hashtag not sponsored. Yeah, if Pharaoh's Hound dies early, then you are kind of in trouble, but Yao Guy still does a lot of base damage, and you're not really fighting particularly strong troops. So even if Yao Guy can't cascade into a 4-match, he still might just have the raw damage plus the magic steal to be able to just finish the fight all on its own. Mermaid. Have to remember what I had where. Okay. You missed what, Goblin? What'd you miss? Mermaid. I love these potions. They are so awesome. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking, Samwell, is just you just blow right through, and then you can actually think about what you need to actually finish. So we're just gonna blow through these early ones. Like I had a Hulu open and it popped up a Yu-Gi-Oh episode that I was watching. So we're gonna keep going. Now, another question that people often ask is how far do you take these 4 bounty troops before you switch to 3 bounty troops and a normal troop? Now, I wish there was an easier way to say this, but it's actually just whenever you start to struggle. Which questionable tabs? Samuel, what are you talking about? Potions really have changed the math. It allows you to go at least a couple levels farther. But because those first 2 potions are enchanting everybody, which helps speed up the fights, and then those explosions that also help speed up the fight, it makes such a big difference for lower level players. Do you guys see those tabs? I don't think you guys see any of that, do you? Sorry, I'm talking with Wanda about the stuff on my screen. Oh, they think that they know me, but they only know the part of me that I want them to see. The part of me that DPs the whole world. I mean, the whole world needs some divine protecting, right? Yeah, she got me, Goblin. She got me good. Because I took it off of the mature content, so hopefully we'll be able to get a few more viewers than before. We'll just give her some attack. That's another good question. Samuel is asking why no mana details. For starters, these earlier fights, I don't really need it. Like, stuff is just gonna die, it really doesn't matter. But, but other than that, I tend to run a lot of looping teams where it just doesn't matter. Like, I'll just do a quick PvP fight. So this is my Zool team, Titan, blah blah blah. So we'll just start with a 4-match. Now again, like I don't have any of these things, but like we just cast spells, do stuff, people die, and like when you run a lot of looping, it really doesn't matter what the mana details say, because either it's gonna fill or it doesn't fill, and it just doesn't matter. Like rocks fall, everybody dies. So like when you just run like a lot of looping, a lot of explosions, like it just what the specific mana details are just don't matter. Now back to bounty. But yeah, that was a team that I lucked into finding because of the last stream that I did. I believe Bright Strider told me to make a team that had Leprechaun in it. So I was like, alright, Mountain Crusher. Alright, let's go TPK, Leprechaun, and then, oh hey, Zool. Goblin laughing at me and my ignoring mortal concerns. Eventually stuff just dies, and you know it's gonna die, so does it really matter whether you've got 9 mana or 10 mana? Now, this is one of the big reasons why people like Tagraki. Does true damage boosted by armor. Now, she doesn't exactly have a lot of armor, and she's stealthy, so now I just look like a fool. But yeah, it just really helps to just like knock things down a peg while you're going. I'm so not used to this mermaid spell. I see it and it's like, is it full? Is it not full? Like there are probably like 15 times it's been ready to cast and I just haven't cast. I mean, that's just the nature of Zool. Like, see, even if Zool doesn't cascade, alright? We're gonna ignore Stonehammer because the skulls don't work. But sure, let's fight Dragon's Eye. Start with explosions, more explosions. So, for starters, we're going to kill the Dragon's Eye. Now, even if these skulls didn't cascade into a 4-match, and it left them with like a million skulls, all of their troops are frozen and burning. So one would think that maybe those skulls could backfire, but they can't because all of the enemies are frozen. So, like, you would think that it would backfire, but it just goes so smooth. So we'll kill this, and then we'll kill that. Yeah, you guys remember back when, like, Salty was previewing Possessed King and everyone thought that it was going to be crap because of the explosion nerfs? And now it's in, like, the top 3 or 4 mythics in the entire game. Yeah, exactly, Goblin. Like, they get a 4-match, they break the barrier that's on my Titan, they don't get an extra turn, and then I get to keep going. Like that's the nature of the team. Deckhand doing the work. Eventually I'll get another turn, right? Let's knock him to the back. Oops, wrong person. And we will... Waiting for my turn. Rocky. Kill. Okay. Enough of that nonsense. Let's do this blue. Oh, missed a 4 match. Yeah, I'm in the anonymous Discord. You can go ahead and add me as a friend. Wanda, are you making friends while I'm playing? We're trying to just get through these last few levels. I'm gonna try and like move stuff over, try and bring the... I've got 2 monitors set up, I'm still getting used to it. My chat is like way over here on the left side, like out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm trying to like play and read and respond, and again, just bear with me, I'm trying to get used to all this. Do you guys want to see the puppy? Wanda wants to see the puppy. Do you guys want to see the puppy? Okay, I've got a couple of people that want to see the puppy. Hey, there's another orb of clans. I think that puts me at 23,800 seals worth of orbs. Alright, I will give that to you guys in a bit, but you guys are gonna have to turn down your volume before I do that. Alright. I am gonna go get my puppy. I will be right back. I need you to stay for a bit so I can put my microphone back on. Alright, what all can you guys see? Oh god, my gem support is freaking out. Oh. Waiting on the lag. What's a pretty you are going to go in to hang out in my lap for a bit. Or do you want to escape me? His name is sort of actually Puppy, but it's also sort of Teddy. Like, we got him sort of accidentally. One of my wife's coworkers at the time like they bought him, but they weren't really prepared for how rambunctious he was going to be. Yeah, he had some bad face. But yeah, so they weren't quite prepared for how rambunctious he was gonna be. So then, back when he was just like this little tiny puffball, he got kind of like dropped into our lap. We didn't have a bed or really food or anything. So he just got dropped into our lap. He is a really playful pup, and when we got him, we had kind of like an old ornery old Yorkie as well. And that one was named Winston. So we had Winston and we had Puppy. So even though we legally registered Puppy as Teddy, we just kind of got to calling him Puppy the whole time. So that just kind of became Puppy's name. So again, his name is actually Teddy, but he generally responds to Puppy. Alright, my deckhand didn't work again. Alright, now it's at this time that I am going to ask you guys to turn down your audio. I'm going to give you a real-life Wonderwall in about 5 to 10 seconds, and if I blow out your ears, let it be shown that I warned you. Alright, is everybody ready? Alright. Wonder, 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 wonder. Now, believe it or not, that's a lot harder to do in falsetto than it is to do puppy. It was like, puppy, 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 puppy. Like, I don't know if it's the W or the WA or whatever, but it doesn't roll off the tongue. Alright, do we want to keep going with this team, or do we want to switch to the out guy team to let everybody, like, see why... Like, do you guys want to see why that team is suggested by a lot of people, or you just want me to keep going like this for now? Okay. So, mermaid, bat, that. I don't want red and purple. Try the suggested banner, see how that works. Sure, why not? And there we got a raven and some explosions. Doing it again. Go away, Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what? We're just gonna close out of that Hulu account for now, so that stops happening. Alright, so do you want yellow and purple? Let's take the red for now. Now, we're not gonna cast him right now because we don't really have a lot of red and purple. Start with that. Look at that. Work on the raven. Alright, that's a little bit better. But here again, we already have like red and purple, so cripple those two. Let's see if we can't make some more reds. More reds, some green. Well, that was just silly on their part, but if they're going to give us a free win, we're going to take the free win, right? Oh. Just gonna Pharaoh's Hound, see if we can't get some more purples going. And dead. I mean, like, you can run him in front of Pharaoh's Raw, but the kind of catch there is because we have Man-at-Arms, if we put that there, then I heard somebody do something. What was it? Lady Higgs, thank you for the follow. Alright, but yeah, like, if you run it like this, Man-at-Arms kind of gets mana blocked, so if you don't care about Man-at-Arms, then it just kind of works for you. But because we're trying to make sure that everybody has access to troops or access to mana, and we know that we're going to start off with the enchant potion, the explode potion, we shouldn't really have any problems. Starting it off pretty good, so we'll just go Pharaoh's Hound. Yeah, guy. Yeah, and here again, he like build up himself, cripple them. Missed on that one, but that's okay. We'll start on that. This might be enough to kill him. Like, again, you just kind of like fire it off. Is it gonna kill him? I don't know. Let's just find out. Yeah, it's bonkers with the potions. I love the potions so much. That, yellow and brown. Skulls. Yeah, like her doing 76 skull damage is kind of crazy. I appreciate that, Wanda. There's the stream. I'm sorry about the loud thump typing. So, there's Hound. Missed on that one, but that's okay. That doesn't matter. Where did this Own Storm come from? So, I don't know. That just fired off. Yeah, I was just so powerful. Yeah, like I'm always happy to help. I'm just trying to get up off the ground. It's really hard to get started, but I'm always willing to answer any questions anybody has. I'll try and highlight the new events, the feature events. And like people were kind of talking how like maybe I should stream for a long time, and I decided that I would finally give it a shot. It's hard to get it up and running, but I'm doing the best I can. You gotta start small, right? Cripple him. Yeah, that's ready. Blow up the world. Alright, try and get some more purple. Now, like the one catch is you kind of lose. Wait, this. Oh, that's where the bone storm comes from. I found the bone storm. I don't normally use that troop, so I'm not used to it causing the bone storm. Now, another thing in this particular case, another thing that people could do is if they didn't want to use the, if they don't want to use the Yao Gai team, they could take that out. We could put that guy in, and we could swap in Bard, and I could use my shiny new weapon that I bought earlier. Another troop that a lot of people kind of overlook sometimes is the Empowered Sister Superior. Having that free Empower that just cleanses all of your troops is really helpful, and her mana cost is only 6, which means she does not take up nearly as much mana as other troops do, so just having that free cleanse can be just really, really helpful. Alright, so we're going to use Mermaid, we're going to use Man at Arms. Do we have any other decent yellow troops? Oh yeah. Halfmane's not bad either, because their attack kind of gets up there, so he's another way to do like a good 54 damage. Let's get some... That's not what I want. I just want some yellow. Let's do double yellow. Not that. Yellow, red. Sure, we'll go Lantern Banner. Class, we're going to go with my famous class that I am most known for. I love my Bard. Oops, go. Stupid man. I also don't like them because they're just kind of like another thing that just distracts me from like the board and everything else. And I want to laser focus on what's right in front of my face. So let's do 60 damage to Atlanta. Wait, what? Oh, Trickster, that's not very nice. Trickster swapping stuff around. 35 damage to everybody. Trickster is such a jerk. He's been a jerk since we first saw him, swapping troop positions around, because that's what we want. We want to make our team set up and then have them just start swapping stuff around, right? Like, why wouldn't we want them to do that? Kill him. Cripple him. Kill him. Yeah, and that's another reason why I like this, is Mermaid plus Bard buff just starts to one-shot the whole world. Like, find a skull and kill somebody dead. Hit that green to enchant him. More attack and armor. Just kind of waiting for, there we go. Alright, we're gonna open my backup Coke. Always gotta have a backup Coke. Alright, so I'm gonna try and push for starters to get to level 20, and then I'm going to explain once again like the point structure. Because everybody always tries to like bash their head against the wall trying to get like, they'll take 5 losses. Yeah, they'll take 5 losses trying to get up to level 20 and then realize that it's too hard. And they lost so many points along the way. Keep crippling him. 34, not quite enough. So it's now it should be 35. We'll let that tick up one more time. And 36. 70 damage. Just kind of slowly crippling everybody so that Sun and Moon can finish them all off together. And then keep increasing her attack so that she can keep battering stuff. And then one more anything. Should be enough. One more turn. And Bard buff kill. The early levels of Bounty are great, but it gets so grindy later on. Like you're just slaughtering the same level over and over and over. Fine. Let's work on Captain Skullbeard because he's a little scary. What does he do? Nothing important is what he does. Let's manage everybody. Don't need the green. We'll take the red and the purple. You want to give them the red? Sure, we'll give them the skulls. We kind of got the stats, so we don't have to worry about a single skull match. Kill him, 120 damage. The classic rocks fall, everybody dies. Oh. I'll take that green, start that enchanting. Give them those skulls. And kill. We're almost there. 3 more fights. and then we'll highlight the points, and then maybe try any other teams that people want, and then maybe stop for the night. We will see. You know, it's a lot easier with this particular event because there's like a defined stopping point. Like you highlight all of the levels, and then you can kind of stop from there. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Trickster gonna do his thing. Yeah, Wanda has to scoot, but Wanda, you have a good night, and I will talk to you later. We're gonna try and leave that Trickster alive just so we can put our team back right, and then we'll kill him. Work on Atlanta, because she's the only one that does damage. Attack. Yellow, purple. Purple him. What are we up to? 47. Sure, why not? We just need one more spell to cast, or that did. Okay, so while we're pushing through to the last levels, does anybody have any other teams or any other troops or any other things that they're curious about? That's fine. Now, we keep pumping up Mermaid's attack so that she has increased ability to one-shot all of these rogues. That's part of why Mermaid is there in this entire event. Kill, cripple, cripple, kill. Okay. Alright, Rocky. That is something that I will try, because that's something that I actually use in previous events. Like when the Soldier of Wrath or whatever was the bounty captain, that was a troop that I actually used. Might be worth focusing down this guy, because all of that blue has the potential to fill a lot of people. So, that's fine. The double damage is green. So we'll focus down deckhand now. Should be getting close. There we go. Deckhand dead. She doesn't actually matter. You saving a pet? What pet are you saving? Alright, so this is the point where a lot of people start to question what team do they use, what level do they farm, so on and so forth. So right now we have a times 24 modifier times 200 points. That's 4,800 points for winning this fight. Now remember, that's a mythic bounty captain, 2 mythic bounty troops, and 1 random troop. Now you get the exact same points as that if you do level 16 with 3 mythic bounty troops and a mythic bounty captain. So at that point you kind of get to decide, do you want to do level 20 with 3 bounty troops and a real troop, or is it easier to try and do level 16 with 4 bounty troops? Because like everybody just assumes that you have to get to level 20, and that, like I said, they'll take 5 losses as they bash their head against like level 15 trying to get up to level 20, when in reality that doesn't matter. If the farthest they can get with 4 bounty troops is like level 11 or 12 or 13, it is worth backing up to a level that you can beat with 100% completion instead of taking several losses, bashing your head against the level. So, and also on that exact same note, you get more points for doing level 17 with 4 bounty troops than you do doing level 20 with 3 bounty troops and like Yao Guy and stuff. So, alright, we're gonna try Chagraki and Soldier of Wrath. The mana's a little complicated here. So I guess well, we're highlighting Chagraki, so oh wait, Riftlinks, that's what we were talking about, Riftlinks. And now we want blue and red. Okay, so here again, Mermaid is still on top because she does that double skull damage versus the rogues. Then we've got our bounty captain. Then we've got Taraki for the true damage, Riftlinks for the true damage. So we're going to start out with that. Just take all of our freebie matches. Into the 4. So now it's at this point when Chagraki is full that you kind of decide which troop you want to focus down with Chagraki. Because like we don't want to fire it at Shadowhunter because she's got no armor left. But naturally, like Raven is one of the troops that we want to kill, which means that like when we go to cast Mermaid, we don't want to hit the troop that we hit with Chagraki. So we fire off Chagraki, which means that one more shot from Chagraki, so he can 2-shot any troop. But then we'll just go ahead and fire off the Riftlinks and kill that guy. So on the same note, we have a choice of what we want to focus down with Mermaid. Now we could hit one of these two, or we could focus down Shadowhunter. So Little Johnny Bronze isn't really a big threat, but Bonnie Rose can hurt a bit more. So we're going to use Tagraki Warrior in the future to focus down Bonnie Rose, which means since one more skull hit will kill Shadow Hunter, we're going to use Mermaid on Johnny Braun so that we don't knock down Bonnie Rose's armor, so that Tagraki can do bonus damage to her. Unless, of course, we just get skulls and that whole plan goes out the window. Alright. Because naturally, like, you have a plan laid out, but then the skulls just fall. And everything works fine. So yeah, we got the exact same 4,800 points that we got when we did level 20. So now we're going to take that up a notch. Yeah, I know, like, two-hitting that Raven. Like, that's why Tagraki is so powerful. So then you have things like Soldier of Wrath or Rift Links that just more true damage to focus down the important troops. So, and again, we're going to keep buffing her. So here again, like, he is a bit of a threat. Pirate is not a threat. This is a bit of a threat because it's going to be 27 plus 15, so that's 42 damage. So we're going to focus down him with our normal damage, and probably actually Captain Skullbeard. Because all of these skulls plus all of this attack hits us really, really hard. So she's got 50 times 2 equals 100, which means we don't need to do any more damage, and we'll kill this guy with a skull hit. So we're going to focus on the backup threat. Or not the backup threat, but one of the useless people. So then 23 base. Again, perfectly two-shot range. And here again, I think we're gonna, like, we kind of have a 50-50 shot. Like, do we want to hit this guy as a backup, or do we want to do more focus damage here? It's kind of a toss-up. Or we could take this 4-match. When in doubt, take the 4-match, right? And then, see, and now the path revealed itself. So when in doubt, study the board. And here again, Tagraki, 2-shot. Agile, well played. Let's take a bad ship, something else. And dead. So there again, we got 5,100 points, which is, it's only 300 more points than we would have gotten doing either of the other paths. But remember, bounty, it's not about hitting level 20, it's not about using the bounty captain, it's just about points. So, and now, just because I know people are curious, times 30 for bounty troops, let's give it a shot. The potions naturally help a lot, but again, like, they only affect the initial burst. So now here again, we have 3 damage dealers, but the biggest threat with all of these is the thing that fuels the mana. So we're going to use Tagraki on Deckhand. Now it's not quite in 2-shot range, so we're going to need to use Rift Links to help weaken him. So that's fine, we don't have anybody using green. So we'll weaken him a little bit more, knock him to the back. So now this guy's armor is already knocked down, which means he's not the person we're going to want to hit with Tagraki, which means he is the person we're going to accept that he's stealthy. So anyway, long story short, now we're going to kill this guy with Tagraki. And here again, now, his armor's already weakened, so this person is who we're going to hit with Mermaid. That's bad. This is fairly safe. Well, slightly less safe, but... brown, purple. So we'll take the brown. That's fine. Alright. Keep that. Okay. Now we're just playing badly. This is a little risky. Okay. We got a little lucky there. We got a little lucky there. That could have been bad. Uh-oh. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Do that. Okay, you can never get too cocky. Alright, one more skull. And there is level 20 done with the times 30 multiplier. So, now, that's probably going to be it for the night, but does anybody have any questions, concerns, comments, or anything they want to mention before we log out for the night? Yeah, like, the potions definitely help, but they're not the end-all be-all. Like, you could see it definitely helped speed things up at first, but then it still does come down to which troop you hit with Tagraki, which troop you hit with Mermaid, and just, like, balancing out your true damage versus your normal damage. Alright, well, it looks like nothing else is gonna happen for now, so I guess we'll end the fight with just one more Zool fight. Just because I love you guys, and I love my Zool. And with that, I want to thank everybody that watched, subscribed, commented, and I want you guys to all have a good night, and I will try and do another stream next Friday, and I will see you guys all later.